Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome back to another episode of my playthrough of Horizons. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast launcher. Today I'm joined on the server by Dornall. Is there anybody else on right now, I think?
Nope, just us.
Just us? Okay. Bishop was on a little bit ago, and Esk might join us later, I'm not sure. But, so a little bit of continuation from the last episode. We were doing a bunch of magic. I've upgraded this chamber quite a bit. I made I made 5 of the sides solid and left 1 window in the front. This increases its resistance to corruption by a bunch. And I actually tested the other materials that you can use, the other different kinds of platings, and it actually seems that I picked the best one. The pale plating seems to have the highest value for resistance to corruption. And you'll notice my MROV, which I believe is that measurement of resistance, is up pretty good. 1727. It was around 11 something, I think, when I originally had all the windows in the sides. And the other thing that's helping me a lot is the top center there is if we look at the chamber parts, I added a stabilizer. So that reduces 95% of the chance of getting corruption in there. So I haven't had no corruption since I did this update. I put the controller on the center bottom and moved the acceptor around to this side. And the these parts add quite a lot for every one of those. They add quite a lot of that resistance. So I've also added 4 holding blocks. There's one in the floor level at each corner here, and then 2 up there in the corners as well. So on the back side, there's 4 additional holding things, which add 400,000 MRU storage to it. So I got 460,000 total. That's a lot of MRU to store out of this little thing. Making it bigger. On the test server, I made it bigger. The only thing that making it bigger helped with was the resistance to corruption. It did not really change the storage or any of the other values to it. It would also make it so you could have more of the blocks like these ejectors and acceptors and capacity upgrade things. But I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. I think we're going to leave it just like that. And this is producing producing us enough energy to do what we need to do. I rearranged just a little bit over here. Put these right up against the wall and together because when I'm using these, I like to step away from them. And they have a pretty big radius of corruption when they're actually in use. And I don't like getting corrupted because if you... just a little bit of corruption's okay. But when you let it build up, like if you stand near it for very long, your corruption timer keeps going up and up and up. When you get up over a few minutes, you start having some nasty effects like occasional damage and hunger and things like that. So haven't done very much of that, but I did let my corruption get up there pretty high once and discovered what the bad effects can be. Okay, moving right along. I made this block as well, the charging chamber. And the reason I made this block is because I wanted to charge up some guns. Remember, I made the weapons bench last episode, and I figured out how to put some weapons together. By asking around on the forums a bit, discovered that you do need a glass alloy. It has to be glass alloy in the slot that looks like a glass alloy goes there. All the ingots can be any of the ingots listed in the book, as long as they match. Like it says, how's it say it? It says that all the M's, all the S's, and all the B's have to be the same material. They don't have to be like all the M's have to be the same material, all the B's have to be the same material, but they can be different than the M's and the H's, but they all have to match. And then finally, this one is the slot that was really confusing me for a long time because this slot, the image in the slot does not look like the item that goes in there. So it takes a soul sphere. It has to be a soul sphere. It can't be any of the other MRU battery device things. It has to be the soul sphere. And then the MRUMP is what goes there. And that also determines the type of damage that it does. And then this part right here, the frame, is that what it's called? The elemental core. The elemental core can be any of the elemental cores. And I think that affects the overall result. So you can see right here, I'm going to be putting together a Gatling gun, but next, but I have already assembled a rifle, assault rifle. This thing's pretty cool. Shoots nice and straight, long. You can kind of see the shot for just a second, like after I shoot it. It also will hit players, and it does nasty things to them. So. Did that give you like a nasty effect or something?
No, it just took some of my food away.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it will hit players even if you have PvP off, so be aware of that. So if you're trying not to kill your friends, don't shoot them with your MRU rifles. Let's see. The next thing that we want to do is we want to solve an issue. So let's move away from magic for a second. We're going to come right back to it, but let's go explain the issue first. So we discovered, remember we went and made a special world that had a bunch of fuel in it, and that was our way to fuel up our rockets in order to get to the moon initially. We have, well, first of all, we've rearranged the base quite a bit. Made things nicer looking, and you can't see any power conduits for the most part, almost anywhere except in the reactor room over there. But everywhere else, the power conduits are nice and hidden. And we've set up this room is our Galactic Craft laboratory. So these devices up here, the water electrolyzer, will produce liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, which can be fed into the methane synthesizer right here, this thing. We'll take liquid hydrogen with some carbon, and you either make carbon by getting fragmented carbon. Let me show you that. Fragmented carbon right here. It's supposed to be either made with coal or charcoal. There's a problem, and we're going to explain that here in a second. But once you actually have that carbon in there, it'll turn into carbon dioxide, and then that will eventually get converted into methane. That methane gas will be put into the gas liquefier, and that will turn it into liquid methane, which can then be used as rocket fuel. So there's our maybe our alternative method for getting rocket fuel. Problem is getting the carbon in the first place.
In the table there, I put some coal, so you can show them the problem.
Okay, so if I put coal in a crafting grid, it suggests that I'm going to get mini coal from Z-tones, which is fine. I like mini coal from Z-tones. Problem is, I really need the carbon. So even if I try with charcoal, I'm going to go over to the transmutation tablet, and I'm pretty sure I have some charcoal in here. Yeah, I can pull charcoal out of there. And if I try to put charcoal in there, I have the same problem. I get mini charcoal from Z-tones. So that's not the crafting recipe that I want. So I think I've come up with a solution for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the magic crafting table from, see if I can find it. Magic crafting table. I think it's actually a different category. Here we go. Somewhere in here. From Essential Craft. Magic. Where's it at? Moonwell. Nope. I know it's here somewhere. Magic Repair. No. Monster Duplicator. Not what I'm looking for. Smeltery. Potion Spreader. Enchanter. Quarry. Maybe I am on the wrong tab. Well, let me go back up here. Maybe it was in this tab. Magical Crafter. There it is. Magical Assembler. That's the thing I'm looking for. So let's put this together real quick. We're just going to take a bunch of platings. A Magical Display. Magical Display. I don't think I have one of those ready, so I need to get a bottle of water. And you notice how this is like not showing things in this interface. All you need to do is pick the book up, put it back down. It'll refresh this display, and you'll be able to see what you're pulling out of there. If you happen to know what's in the slot, you can just go ahead and pull it out because it is there. You just can't see it. So this goes into the Magician's Workbench, so Magician's Table. That's going to get converted into a magic water, and I'm going to be able to make that display here in a second. Let me get the rest of this. What is it? Assembler. This right here is what I'm looking to make. So let me get all the rest of these parts out of here. Maybe if I have some more of these, I might probably gonna need one of these. Yes, need one of those. I need 4 plates. I need the MRU linking device and 2 conversion matrices. I don't have any conversion matrices yet, so that's that. What else? The linking device. And finally, I gotta make this, so it's gonna take some fortified frames. I don't have any of those ready to go, but those are just glass and stone. Yeah. And I can make the frames, and then I need those mithrylene platings that I already have there. I think it will take any of the platings, so let's start with these. Let's get a few of these. I use these all the time, so I might as well grab a bunch. You may also notice we started using these project tables. These are nice. These will hold the inventory. You won't drop your items. Plus, if somebody else is crafting something, I can open this up and see what they're doing and potentially offer advice.
Never.
Never? Never would I offer advice, huh? I know.
No, not you.
Not me, that's right. Let's see if I've got everything there. I know. Whoa, mithrylene plating. Okay, that's not what I'm trying for. I need that. Nope. I forgot I gotta make these first. These right here, the conversion matrix. That goes there. I'm pretty sure that was there. And those were in the corner, and this was in the bottom, and there we go. Magical assembler. Now this thing requires MRU, just like any of these other devices. So I'm gonna have to get a linking crystal thingy. We'll put it out in this general area for now. You see it takes MRU. So I need a crystal. Let me get that real quick. So one of those and one of those gets me the linking, or the bound gem, which will allow me to link it to the big chamber over here to give it some power. There we go. Power. Okay, so now we put this in the slot, and we should start seeing all of the recipes that we can make with that. Mini charcoal. There we go. Look, I can select fragment and carbon. And then I can tell it to set that. And somewhere it's somewhere I need to put some stuff into it. Maybe I should have used coal instead. Here, clear that. I'm not sure. I might have to read the book here in a second, but we are looking for some coal.
I just threw some on the ground at you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we got more coal. We're probably gonna need a bunch. Let's put that in there. Somewhere down in this list it's gonna list. Goodness, that's a big list. Maybe I should have used a charcoal because it was a shorter list. Potato tosser thingy we need. Oh my god, there's so many potato tosser. Fuel pellet? No, there we go. Fragment carbon. Set that. How does this work? It's set. Do I need to give it a redstone signal, or is it doing something? It looks like it's trying to do something. Let's read the book. RTFM. It's not only able to craft items, It can also serve as a radiating chamber. Nice. Okay. And a magician's table. And a regular workbench. Though not all recipes will be available. Okay. Well, I need to know what to do. Left click the recipe will lock it. To browse through the list, you can use your mouse wheel. Okay, we got that. We got that much done. We've locked the recipe. How do we get the stuff out? I don't know. Doesn't say. Oh, well, you reset it. Maybe I need to magic mirror it out of there? I'm not sure. Maybe there's a slot that I'm not seeing. There is issues with the interface. With the... I want to clear it. That is the recipe I want. Where do I get this out of there? This should do the trick. Mouse over the recipe in the list. Left click the recipe, we'll lock it. Well, we did that. Browse to list. Okay, we did that. Let me check. Oh, here we go. There's some more information. If you select recipe, just press set and the recipe will be locked into the device. You should always use shift click to put or remove bound gems or recipe components because otherwise it's kind of hard to insert them into the device. Okay, we got that covered. If you're ready, you can pump the required items into the magical device using magic mirrors. Just select the assembler as the inventory. You can also pull the result out using those mirrors. Just place one above it, and the order in which you put the required items does not matter. Okay, so we got to use magic mirror to get this stuff out of it. Wonderful. Okay, let's make a magic mirror. So that's probably not too hard. Magic mirror. Magical. Now let's check the book. Because that has an entry right here. Magical mirrors. See what the recipe is. Not too hard. And we need a control rod. Which can be... I'm going to need 2 more magic waters, some iron, and a bunch more plating. And a glass lens. I think that was a glass lens. Yes, so glass lens does take a little bit of time to make, so I'm going to start that one first. And in order to do that, I need some of these things right here. 2, 3. We'll go ahead and get 1 for a glass lens. I'm going to need some glass. Or glass alloy. I forget what it's called exactly. I think it's glass alloy. That goes around that like so, and I'll start creating that. That's gonna take a minute. So let me go ahead and grab the water. So not as simple as I was hoping it to be. I need at least 2 of those, but I think we can get this to work for what we want to do. So this is a complicated method of getting to a recipe that is a duplicate recipe that's being overridden by another mod. So this thing would be highly useful as an auto crafting type device thing if you wanted to set it up with magic auto crafting. Pretty cool thing. But there we go. There's that. We're gonna be waiting here for a minute. So while we're waiting, I think I'm gonna show them the moon base real quick. What are you staring at the door for? Who's in here?
Go ahead.
Okay. And I'll just take a quick look around the base of all the changes. Obviously, this was our Galacticraft lab. I moved our replicator system over to here. I think it looks good right there in that location. So it's our whole replicator system right here, self-contained. It's not tied into any other devices, although we could eventually have more replicators. But I think this works out pretty good. There's a network thing right behind here. The matter analyzer has some pipe down to it, some matter network pipe that goes into the back of and then these 3 are tied to the sides and top and bottom. And of course, the matter replicator is directly contacting the network device, and the recycler and decomposer don't need to be connected into the network, but the decomposer being above the matter recycler or matter replicator is still able to push the matter into it, even above it. So that was awesome. And then there's some power cables to make sure everything's got power. Over here, nothing new over here, but it is kind of like partitioned off as its own room where we have the gas lab, I guess, where we deal with all of our gases, because we're also making our hydrogen and oxygen that's used over in the crafting area, as well as our heavy water, which gets converted to the deuterium, and then our tritium is coming from our gas world, where we're completely backed up right now. System is not drawing any power because we have 4,096 buckets of each of the liquid versions of tritium and deuterium. And then, of course, we have to convert it back into gas before we pump it into the reactor. We're not even using the reactor right now because our wind turbines are still producing enough power to keep the base running most of the time. Now, if I run the digital miner, I've got a new setup. I've got transfer nodes. A transfer node that I can take with me in an ender receiver, so I can directly power it from our base power, and that is set up in here. You can see I had to cut the transfer node off from the rest of the power network in order for it to keep it working properly. So this energy cube is strictly for feeding our remote power systems. Like we have a remote power receiver on the moon to power up all of our moon-based stuff. We also have that in the gas world. And I have one that I can take with me for our digital miner and set it up wherever I need to set it up. And I've added additional ender transmitters. I have up to 28 ender transmitters in here. This allows it to send more power. The receivers are not important. It only actually takes one receiver to receive the power necessary to power a network someplace else. So let me go check this. This should be done now after all that yammering. Yes, this has made a glass alloy. And let's see what else we needed for the magic mirror. What is it called? It's not called magic mirror, apparently. It is called magical mirror. Okay. So I need some platings, which I don't think I have ready to go. Do I have any platings ready to go? I do not. Unless I can uncraft my pale platings. I don't think so. Because I don't need the block version, I need the, let me get some methylene, and that actually gives me an opportunity to show you something else. So if I take some methylene, now normally when you first get started, you have to, mitrylene, if I said it right, mitrylene, T-R-I, mitrylene, and there should be more recipes here. Why is it not, there's mitrylene ingots. This right here. Okay, so this is how you would normally get your ingots to start with. And the object here is, the first thing you want to make with this is you want to make a mitrylene furnace. Actually, let's show that recipe a little bit longer. So it takes some emerald plating, some mitrylene dust, the mitrylene crystal, which is a bunch of ingots around the dust, and then some more mitrylene ingots, the heat rod. Furnace. That alone is not all it takes. It's actually a multi-block structure, and let's go take a look at that multi-block structure because I had to build it up here on the roof. Okay, we could see that it's got a bunch of these mitrylene platings, so you have to get some plates, which somewhere here. Nope. Mitrylene plating. Why is it not? Well, trust me, I'm about to show you how to make them here in a second. But before you can make this, you have to make a bunch of mitrylene plating with the crafting recipe, the crafting table recipe. But once you have the mitrylene furnace here, it is powered by these mitrylene crystals. Only the ones in the corners are necessary. The other 4 are optional. And the optional ones do increase the rate at which it generates the energy that it collects from the dark star. I think it's what it's called, the dark star. Let me check that. Remember, is it the dark star or the ender star or something?
And I would try mithrilene instead of mitrylene because there is an H in there.
There's not an H in there. Look again.
I just looked it up.
Oh well, maybe some of it says mitrylene. But the dust is mitrylene.
Yeah, it says mithrilene plating.
Oh, okay. So maybe when you turn it to the plating and stuff, it turns into it gets an H. The green sun. Okay, the ender star, the green sun, is where these gather their power. They only will work if they have a view of the sky. So you can't put this inside an enclosed base. It has to be outside someplace or on top of your base and have a view of the sky for those mitrylene crystals. There's no H in those, by the way, for those to collect the energy. And once this has some energy, it will process things pretty fast. So I shall throw a stack of mitraline dust in here, and it rapidly turned it into a full stack of mithrylene ingots. Okay, yeah, you're right. It does say mithrylene. No, I never noticed that. Well, I've been saying it both ways, so I guess I was correct either way. So now I need to take that and throw it in here to get my platings. I'm going to need some more platings. I need, what, 4 platings for this total. So we'll do that. Actually, there we go. That'll make 4 platings real quick. And while that's cooking, let's go take a quick look at the moon base. We're not going to do anything today. We're just going to try to solve this issue of getting fuel. Like, I mean, we don't need to do this. We already have our fuel. But I think it's cool to actually figure out how other methods of doing it, like without making a world full of fuel that is very laggy. So let's go take a look at the moon. Should be okay because we have a base that has an oxygen supply here. So I rearranged this a little bit, put these all on the floor like so. We have access to the inventory we have back on our regular base using the modular storage here and a remote storage thingy, remote storage module. So that is nice. I like to keep these in the this mode so you can see everything that's in there a little bit easier. You don't need names as much.
Make sure you put your helmet on before you open the door.
Yeah, so I was about to get that stuff out. So I do need my helmet. And we also have this thing, the frequency module, which allows us to hear the noises on the moon. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear anything. So put that on. If I put this on, it's probably going to get loud. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, I want to show them what's underneath here working this. Have you been up here since I got it all fixed?
Yeah, I was here.
Well, I had to come back and I had to put a storage module to convert our mechanism power over to the Galacticraft power that will actually go through that sealable heavy wire thing there. That's the only thing I've changed under here. But under here we've got a bunch of generators, and we've got our electrolytic separator producing our oxygen for our room up there. Of course, a water tank from lap blocks for infinite water, and our ender receiver, or yeah, right here, our transfer node with our ender receiver set to the gas frequency. So I guess pretty much everything we're making is going to be named gas. So let me seal that back up. And we can look in here and we see the oxygen sealer says sealed. We also have our door. I think we already showed this when we actually made the base, but that was a couple episodes ago now. So that is our airlock. It works really nice, I think. We're going to make a proper Galacticraft airlock when we get to Mars, though, because we have the materials. We have plenty of meteoric iron. And the nighttime on the moon is very long, so we're not going to hang out here because it's nighttime. But I just wanted to show you it's done, it's sealed. We can come up here and visit whenever we want. Let me take this back off now because I'm not going out there right this minute. And it makes me look silly. We also have our thermal padding for whenever we go on spacewalks, I guess. We probably would need that when we get to the asteroid belt, or probably also when we made a space station. You can see Dornell's wearing his thermal padding at all times now. Because he is a space cadet.
Gee, thanks.
Huh? Nothing wrong with being a space cadet if you actually are a space cadet. Alright, let's see here. We should have our platings ready to go. Let's see if we solve this issue yet. Okay, that. We've got a project table over here. And then, oh wait, no, these went on the side like this. With that, there we go, magic mirrors. Shoot, I'm also going to need that other thing. What was it called? A rod of some kind. Control rod. Which means I've got to infuse these 2 waters. And get some iron. What else was it? There's something else, too. It was... Oh, yeah, okay, core. I have extra cores, I think, made already, so we should be good there. Yeah, pale cores. And sadly, I can only do one of these waters at a time. Gotta wait for that one. It shouldn't take too long. Some things take longer than others. One of the things that takes a really long time to infuse is these things, these MRUMPs. They take a very long time to infuse. Okay, that one's done. So if I take, let's see, if there's water like that, iron, and that, there we go, control rod. So we got to place this on top of here, and then tell it, do I do mirror link to the wand? Okay, tell it to send stuff over there. Mirror link to the inventory. Oh, and it's actually facing the inventory that it's linked to. That's cool. So is it producing us our carbon yet? Doesn't look like it. How do we get this to go? Go. I don't know what the little V means. Take that out, put it back in? No, nothing there. It's got power, it's got everything. So this might be being confused by the same issue that was confusing the regular crafting grid. I don't know. But it's supposed to work. How about if we shift that in there? No, that didn't make a difference. It's supposed to be making the fragmented carbon.
Maybe you need to charge the mirror.
Has it got? I don't think so. The mirror's just supposed to work. We can test this. We can test this real quick. What if we make a chest? And we get... I got a bunch of stuff in my inventory already. So, oops, I need 2 chests, actually. Get another one. And we'll just test this to make sure that it does, in fact, work. So, this mirror is bound to that chest. So if I put stuff in here, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's super cool looking. You see it? It like actually pulls the item out and like sends it through the air to the other destination.
Oh, so you needed to set up something for it to deliver to.
I did. I set it to this chest over here. Maybe it doesn't like that chest. All right, well, let's try setting it to that inventory. Oh, it's definitely pointing at that inventory. Does not seem to be doing it. Thing. Maybe we need a redstone signal. I'm just guessing here at this point. What a lever. I never taught it lever? Crazy. Yeah, I don't know at this point. I'm thinking that it's probably being confused by the same thing that's confusing the regular crafting. Oh, no, that's what it needed. Look, it's working. It's working. It does need a redstone signal. It actually... That's really cool animation. We gotta wait. It's probably gonna take a minute to craft it. Okay, so probably didn't actually need the mirror. We probably could have just pulled it out, but that's okay because it's really cool. It's a really cool whole mechanic and everything. Has it taken like a long time to do it? Seems to be doing something though. Like it's trying. But I don't see nothing actually happening. Okay, well, anyway, I think we were about to wrap this one up anyway. There's one other thing that I wanted to do, magic related, and that was I wanted to get a demon summoning altar going because I need some materials. This right here. The demonic pentacle. The demonic pentacle. I'm just actually going to show this. I'm probably going to put it together after the episode, but I want to show you the process real quick. this allows you to summon demons. First you need to craft this pentacle, which requires these focuses. There's different focuses. Oh, I've got to make crystals before I can even do this. Okay, so maybe I should talk about the crystals. Where's the crystals at? Is that... No, crystals. Mitraline. Somewhere in this book is the area that talks about crystals. There we go, right there. Crystal machinery. I gotta make these. So basically what this is going to do is I got to make this crystal former. This will allow me to create some crystals, and then I have to make a thing called, I think this is the crystal controller. Yeah. Once you grow the crystal controller, you can start using the crystals, and this is the crystal extractor. And then you can extract essence from those crystals, elemental essences from those crystals. And these elemental essences are used to create these other special things that are going to be used eventually to make these things, these focuses. Okay. So I just want to quickly show you that's what I'm going to do in off camera between this episode and next to be able to make the demonic summoning altar thing. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do for magical stuff.
And in a couple episodes we will be tackling the moon-based dungeon.
Yes, that might actually be the next episode. Like I said, the majority of that magic crafting stuff is going to get done off camera, but I will explain what it takes and how it works as we figure it out. I wish this thing would do what I was hoping it would do. I'm kind of sad that it didn't work like right off the bat. So yeah, I guess if it does eventually work, you'll get to find out about that next episode. But it's the only way we could think of. The only way I could think of to come up with making that carbon, since there's a recipe conflict. But yeah, we're going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. And be sure and leave a like, comment, and a thumbs up if you did. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Just going to ignore them, huh? Just ignore the audience.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did it again.
Just opening chests and making noise while I'm trying to make my outro.
And I'm spacing like a space cadet.
He's a space cadet. Okay, back for just a moment to show you that I did eventually get it to work. Had to use a couple magic mirrors to shift things in and out of it. Right now it's still pulling out the last bit of the couple bits of charcoal I found earlier. So if I put a piece of charcoal in there, that mirror will send it into there. It'll get converted, and then that mirror will pull it out. Pretty cool. I had to fiddle with it a bit and kind of reset it a few times, and finally got it to just work. I'm not sure why it wasn't working earlier, but there we go. That is the configuration to do it. It's magic mirror in, magic mirror out, and of course it needs a redstone signal to turn on. So now that that's working, we can take the fragment of carbon over here. I should have went the other way. And throw that into the methane producer. There we go. And that'll start producing us some methane. You can see methane gas is getting put over here. Is it not going over here? Does not seem to be getting shifted into there automatically. Okay, might have to do some fiddling with that. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to update that before I concluded this episode entirely. So catch you later.